Video 13.2, Adding and Subtracting Inequalities by Mr. Nelson. Kiddos, you might want to buckle up. It's going to be a wild video. Alright, we're going to start with our foldable here. And we're going to be working on this panel right here. So all you have to do is just listen, copy down what you see. We're going to write adding and subtracting inequalities on the front of this panel. Then we're going to open the panel up and write on the inside. Alright, so here are your step-by-step instructions or your algorithm for isolating the variable on a addition subtraction inequality. Here's an example right here. Copy that example down, and here is your other example. I just want to point out this is y minus 5, and the instruction, first thing you do is you convert it to addition problem. So I change it to y plus the opposite of 5. I tried to put that in pink, but it looks like it's the same color. Pause the video, get this copied down. Okay, now go to your handout, and this is our first problem we're going to be working on. Is x plus 9 is less than or equal to 9. That looks like an equal sign and a less than sign, and it is both. Okay, so to isolate the variable, we're going to add the opposite to both sides. Okay. These cancel out, so I'm going to add the opposite, so the x gets brought down, the sign gets brought down, and this is 2. Okay, so I've numbered my number line. I put 2 right in the middle. So as x is less than or equal to 2. So I know it could be equal to 2. So I could go ahead and color in that circle like that. And it's less than or equal to, so I'm just going to say anything less than or equal to 2 could fit for x. I mean, it could be 1, it could be 0. All of those would make this inequality true. Okay, here we go. Next example. We have negative 3 plus y is greater than 6. Okay, we're going to add the opposite of negative 3, which is positive 3. We're going to do that to both sides. The positive and the negative 3 cancel out. We've isolated our variable. The sign gets brought straight down. And 6 plus 3 is 9. So y is greater than 9. Anything greater than 9. Okay, so I've got my number line here now numbered. 9 goes in the middle. Put 2 numbers on either side. And y is greater than 9, but it can't be 9. So anything greater than 9. So I'm going to put a circle above the 9, meaning it's not 9. And then anything greater than 9, though, will work to make this inequality true. Okay, that means 10 could work. 9.2 could work. Okay, now we're on to our first Google Doc question. Go ahead and pause that video. It's Google Doc number 1. Show all your work on your worksheet. Okay, here's our next example. W minus the opposite of 4, negative 4, is less than 8. Okay, our first rule is we're going to change the sign to addition. So that is actually plus a positive 4. Now we add the opposite. The opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. I have to add it to both sides to balance it out. Alright, now, positive 4 plus a negative 4 cancel out. The W gets a pass down. This inequality sign gets straight down. Alright, and 8 plus the opposite of 4 is 4. Okay. So our answer is W is less than 4. So I'm going to put a little dot. Actually, I'll put a circle because it can't be 4. Anything less than 4, though, works. So 3 works, 2 works. I can substitute anything on this side of 4 into the inequality for W, and it works. Okay, now we have B minus 6 is greater than or equal to 7. Alright, first thing we do is we change it to addition and the opposite of 6, negative 6. We had that negative sign on there. Alright, now to to isolate B, the variable, we add the opposite of negative 6, which is just 6. So I have to do it to both sides. Now, negative 6 plus 6 cancels out. We're going to bring the B down. Alright, the sign comes down. It's a greater than or equal to, and 7 plus 6 is 13. Now we're going to graph it on our number line. Alright, so here's our number line. It is B is greater than or equal to 13. So it could be 13 to make it true. So I can color in that circle now because of the equal sign there, the equal to. Alright, and B is greater than or equal to 13. So any number greater than or equal to 13 will make this inequality true. So 14, 15, all the way up to infinity. Okay, here is our second Google Doc question. Pause the video, complete it, show all your work. Y'all doing a great job, hang in there. We've just got 2 more examples here. This is unique because now the variable is on the right side. We want to focus on the side of the inequality that has the variable because we want to isolate the variable. So we're going to focus on this side. So we have negative 8 is greater than or equal to 5 plus D. But when we have the variable on this side, we always start on this side when we read it. So we actually are going to say D plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 8. All right. Start by adding the opposite to isolate the variable here. So we're going to add a negative 5 to both sides. Okay. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. The D gets brought straight down here. We got D there. Okay. The sign gets brought down. And negative 8 plus negative 5, it's like if you lost $8 and then lost 5 more, you've lost a total of 13. Okay, so I read it like this. D is less than or equal to negative 13. Now I'm going to graph that. Okay, notice on the number line, because it's negative, the numbers get negative 12, negative 11 over here, and negative 14, negative 15. They get bigger as you go to the left. Okay, so D is less than or equal to negative 13, so it could be equal to 13 to be true. So I can color in 13 there. And D is less than, so less than goes this way. Negative 14, negative 15, all of those numbers are less than negative 13, and they would be true if I substituted them in for D. Okay, here's your next Google Doc question, Google Doc question number 3. Go ahead and give it a try. Alright, and here is our last example. It's 6 is less than G minus 6. Okay, so actually if we look at it this way, it's G minus 6 is greater than 6. Alright, so we got the subtraction problems. The first thing we have to do is convert it to an addition problem. So I change it to an addition sign and change this to a negative 6. To isolate G, I am going to add the opposite of negative 6, which is just positive 6. Now I have to balance it out by adding the same thing to the other side of the inequality. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. The sign gets brought right down here, and G gets brought down. So really what we end up with is G is greater than 12. So we're going to graph that now. So G is got to be greater than 12, but it can't be 12. Anything greater than 12 works. And that's how you do that. Alright. And here are your last two Google Doc questions, Google Doc 4 and 5. Pause the video, work on these two problems, and you're done. Transfer your answers to your Google Doc. Have a great night.